Journalist and author Rick Atkinson, who has helped generations understand the history and values of the American experience through his work as a reporter, foreign correspondent, and military historian, grew up in a household steeped in commitment to country and service.
I grew up where World War II was very much part of the cultural landscape. My dad was a career military officer. He enlisted in 1942 when he was 18, came back from Europe in 1946, went to Penn State, and then went back into the Army. And so spent the rest of his working life as an Army officer. I think that I understood the mentality of the military. I think it gave me a natural interest in it as first a journalist and then as a historian.
Atkinson began his career as a newspaper reporter in Kansas, first at the Morning Sun, then at the Kansas City Times, where he won his first Pulitzer Prize. He then moved to the Washington Post, where he won a second Pulitzer Prize for local criminal justice reporting, and, as deputy national editor, oversaw coverage of defense, diplomacy, and intelligence. As an on-the-ground reporter, he covered numerous conflicts, including the Persian Gulf, Iraq, and Afghanistan wars, and developed a strong connection to the armed forces. But Atkinson wanted to go deeper, and he left the Post for a new career.
Well, as a journalist, I wrote about war and the military a lot. So virtually from the time I got into the newspaper business in the 1970s, I was immersed in the military. So when I decided that I was going to look to spread my wings a bit, it was not difficult to move into the role of historian.
Atkinson would go on to write 10 deeply researched books on the American military and be recognized with dozens of literary honors. The centerpiece of his work is The Liberation Trilogy, a definitive 3-volume chronicle of the Allied victory in Europe. The first installment, An Army at Dawn, The War in North Africa 1942-43, would garner him a third Pulitzer Prize, and the trilogy would cement his reputation as a preeminent military historian. Atkinson believes that understanding World War II is one of the keys to understanding America.
World War II is not only the greatest war in our national history, but it's the most singular event in world history in the 20th century. And I think that other tectonic changes in our national culture derives directly out of World War II. Not only does it change the landscape globally, politically, and militarily, certainly here at home, we have 19 million women in the workplace for the first time out of the home. That genie's never gone back in the bottle. The civil rights movement is profoundly affected by the commitment of so many black soldiers, sailors, airmen.
As a journalist, historian, and as a member of the museum's presidential counselors, Rick Atkinson has done extraordinary work helping Americans understand the story of World War II. Tonight, we are proud to recognize him with the 2022 American Spirit Award.
It's an extraordinary honor, largely because of the extraordinary people who've received it previously. American Spirit, to me, it's embodied in what the museum itself is trying to do. It's trying to reflect on what it is about American character, about American competence, about American determination during a very important moment in time called World War II, and the spirit that was evinced in that effort. And to me, that is the best of the American spirit, when we commit ourselves to something larger than we are individually. That's when we rise together.